So, do you ever ask yourself the question, how can I get more energy? How do I get more energy? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So, we see a lot of stressors in our today's day and age with viral infections, with stress from work or lack of finances, relationships, physical traumas, foods, decreased nutritional components in our foods, and we don't have a lot of energy, so we gobble down all that coffee, or we're taking a lot of sugary foods or 5 hour energy drinks, and we're looking to have more energy. If that's you and you're crashing in the middle of the day, or you have a lot of brain fog, or you have joint pains, you could have so many challenges when your body's not making enough energy, because energy, or ATP, is the currency of the body to run the system. And if your cells produce tissues which produce organs need energy, then if you don't have enough energy for the cells and for the tissues and for the organs, then those organs independently are not going to work well. And liver and gallbladder and pancreas and heart and lungs and brain and muscles and glands, they all need ATP production. So if you're watching this and you're looking for a new way to get energy, you may want to think about the genetic component. So what does that mean? It means that potentials, you may have some polymorphisms or SNPs, or the scary word mutations. Doesn't mean the gene is broken, but the genes that code for different proteins and enzymes that make energy don't effectively replicate when there's a mutated or SNP or polymorphic passed down from mom or from dad or from mom and dad. And as a result, when you're not replicating your enzymes effectively, then those enzymes aren't there in this case to make energy. And when we have stressors and we have inflammation and we have physical or emotional stuff, that's going to increase the demand for energy. So if you're exhausted and you're burnt out and you can't focus, chances are you fit the category of our weak cellular genetic type. The weak cellular genetic type is someone who relies on caffeine or stimulants, has very little energy, doesn't have the ability to get through the day, potentially works out in their crash thereafter, and at the end of the day, they have to turn down their social events. They maybe have to take off time from work. They certainly can't keep up with the kids, and life's not doing as well as they'd like it to. So a couple things that I want you to think about is, number one is getting a genetic test. If you don't have a genetic test, or if you have a 23andMe, that can be really helpful for you. And we've put together a course called Your Genetic Type Unlocked, which we'll put a link to underneath this video. But certainly we'll also put a link to getting a genetic test. We use Your Genetic Resource. We feel that that's the best test that's on the market right now, which is going to categorize your potential polymorphisms, and we can organize that for you in, hey, do you fit the category of the weak cellular type? If you are the weak cellular type, you're going to have some polymorphisms on ACAT. ACAT is a very important enzyme. Some people say it's actually more important than MTHFR. What it does is it helps to take your protein and your fat and get them into Krebs cycle so that you can use that as a machine to produce ATP. And if your ACAT is not bringing your protein and fat into the Krebs cycle effectively, then you're not going to produce ATP and you're not going to have energy. So if you have an ACAT challenge, chances are you're the weak cellular genetic type, and that's the reason why you're not having more energy. Just as an incidental, L-carnitine could be really helpful for you, because that can help transport the fat into the cell so it's not oxidizing and using up energy in the process of not making energy. It's like a negative double negative. On the one hand, you're not making energy. On the other hand, by not consuming or combusting fat, it's oxidizing, you're using up energy. Number two is your PAMK enzyme, and what that does, it activates B5. B5 is a very important B vitamin to be able to get as a cofactor to drive your sex hormone steroid pathway and your Krebs cycle pathway. Very, very important enzyme. Making sure you're getting enough pantethine could be super, super important for you. And then the last thing I'll say is the cell danger response. So the NAD plus to NAD and the NADPH plus to NAD, those are very, very, very important things that need to be continually recycling. And if you have lots of stressors, depleted micronutrients, not a good diet, and you have some of these genetic polymorphisms, then chances are your NAD or your NADPH is not getting regenerated. And when you don't have energy just for that capacity, because you have some potential polymorphisms which would be shown on your genetic types unlocked course, or if you order the genetic test, then we'll tell you, hey, it's not only impacting your ability to make energy, it's impacting your ability to detoxify, and you may be fitting that category of the toxic accumulator. So there's a lot of things to have to consider. So one of the things I want you to consider that may be new for you is that you're a weak cellular type. I'll leave a link to the quiz so you can determine what your cellular type is, or sorry, your genetic type is, and then consider having a genetic test being run or going back and looking at your old genetic test to see if you have any ACAT SNPs. Also see if you have any PANK SNPs, and see if NADPH or NADH, there are some NADH SNPs. You'll have to watch more videos for us to explain that to you. But I just want you to think outside the box. So make sure you like our YouTube channel, you subscribe, you make a comment, and we look forward to getting you more energy naturally. Take care.